I think the interactions that the Chamber of Commerce has been having over the last few months with the government, with MLAs, you're starting to see some of those conversations starting to make their way into the budget narrative. So looking at things like encouraging the private sector, engaging with the local private sector. So I think generally speaking, the narrative is certainly moving in the right direction from my perspective.
The issue about the budget is that government's operation expenditure is up around 150 million. That's 50 million more than it was about 6 years ago. It's gone up 50% in 6 years. That is a huge amount of additional expenditure on government itself. Some of it filters out into the provision of services, but certainly not all of it. Government itself is growing in size, and that's probably not a very good trend. But where you get the necessary introspection to readjust that, I'm not quite sure.
I think generally speaking, it's a budget that is more broadly coherent with the narrative in terms of encouraging local investment and putting the government on the right foot. Not to say that it can't be, things can't be improved or worked upon. There's no such thing as a perfect budget. At best, it's always an estimate of the following year. So, I think there's, as long as the approach to engaging with the private sector and engaging with the electors remains, and that's not a here and gone kind of promise, then I think that is an encouraging move forward.
I suspect that the level of the surplus that's predicted for this year will be way less than it turns out to be. So you might ask yourself whether it's actually necessary to set a 20 million surplus when you can be pretty sure it's going to be 50, and do we need to have a 50 million surplus? What is the plan for that? We need to understand the context within which budget plans are being made. What is the broad strategy for the economy? What are the plans for diversification or for reinvestment in existing industries and businesses? And how does a private sector grow to keep providing the level of taxation and services that the community requires?